Hello, I'm Prince Dearlove live from planet Earth. You're watching Chixxflix. I haven't recorded or been live in like over a week. What has it been like 2 weeks? Not that long of a time. Really not that long of a time. But I did miss doing this. I've been on TikTok, so like if you're not following me on TikTok, you should because I'm still on TikTok making videos. I'm just not doing the show a lot of the times. But I am going to be a lot more consistent because you guys deserve it. We're going to talk about really the whole show is going to be just me going into different things that has to do with the right. I mean, have you seen what's going on with the right lately? There is a whole conservative civil war going on. You got Ben Shapiro making a 40-minute video about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson recently interviewed Nick Fuentes, and the right has been so up and down about that. Like, they've been mad and happy at the same time. But Ben, especially, was not pleased with this. Like, he made a 40-minute video about Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson with no ad reads. Ben didn't read one ad, and you know how much he loves money. You know, I can't blame him though. He is a Jew. So, so that was like interesting, and I did watch it, and I'm just like, he even used like black people in it to show, oh, Nick is a racist. Nick is anti-black. We all know that, but don't use us as if you care about racism, Ben Shapiro. Don't use black people to attack Nick Fuentes and act as if you care about black people and you care about if Nick is a racist. You don't care about that. You had Candace Owens at the Daily Wire and you fired her. You had one person working at Daily Wire that was black and you fired her. One person. You can't even tolerate one person, let alone care about racism. So don't use us in your 40-minute video against Nick Fuentes to talk about, oh, he's a racist. Yeah, he's definitely anti-black, and so are you. Two sides of the same coin. Like, he's using black people in the video. Oh, he's a racist, and look at what Nick said. Like, Ben, you suck. You're a racist, and you're anti-black, and you fired the one person you had at the Daily Wire because they started talking about Israel. See, you were okay with Candace doing that whole documentary on Black Lives Matter and George Floyd. Soon as she turns the light on the people that have the same religion as you, an ethnic background, that's when you were like, nah, we got to get her out of here. She's doing too much. But to pretend like you care about black people and you care about racism, like you're just another European looking Jew that doesn't give a damn about anything other than the Jewish cause. So it was weird to see that in the 40-minute video that he did on Nick Fuentes. And, he's going at Tucker Carlson. I said my thoughts about Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, in my opinion, I mean, Nick himself did a 2-part show on Tucker Carlson. His dad being a huge part of the CIA, his dad playing a big role. Tucker Carlson saying that he tried to get into CIA and they didn't let him in, which I think is a lie. Tucker Carlson lying and saying he didn't know his dad was in the CIA. Another red flag that I thought was another lie, which it was. So you got that going on. It's just like it's just a civil war. See, MAGA is dead. You're not getting a better economy. You're not getting mass deportations. You're not getting rent going down. You're not getting, any optimism out of this administration, but you are getting entertainment. That's all we're going to get is entertainment. You're not getting nothing else. You're not getting food stamps. You are going to get a Civil War MAGA entertainment. I'm a conservative. What are you conserving? You're 21 and broke. What are you conserving? I'm a conservative. You're 30 years old and you can't afford groceries. What are you conserving? This movement is dead. MAGA is dead. What are you conserving? I'm a conservative. You're 40 years old and you can't afford anything. What are you conserving? You don't have a savings. You don't have $1,000 in your savings. Most Americans don't have $1,000 in their savings. What are you conserving? Like the MAGA movement, make America, that's dead. That's over with. And I think white people are starting to catch on to like the lie. Like I think white people are starting to get it. Maybe, because it seems like a lot of the times they don't get it. Like it just. I think now it's starting to real like when they look at their check and it's gone within a day on groceries and bills, and they don't have PTO. I think they're starting to get on that, hey, maybe, just being white isn't enough. Maybe we should be able to afford things. So back to the Civil War though. So, Ben made that video, and I just thought it was like, dude, you've had all this time to say something. You choose now because Tucker interviewed him. And like Ben showed a bunch of clips, and he's trying to attack Nick's who he is, and like whether you like Nick or not, Ben is like he literally only is attacking Nick because Nick is going at Jews. He doesn't care about no other group. He just cares about Jews. And it's just interesting to see like this back and forth, between them. People are like, oh, Trump shouldn't have. We would have rather Kamala. Kamala would have been the same thing. Kamala would have been the same thing. At least when Trump get elected, we can take the illusion out of the right that, oh, all we needed was Trump to get in office. No, he's in office and everything sucks. Kamala would have been better. Did you guys recently see? I don't even know if I should go into. We're going to talk about Kamala a little later. But anyway, so they have in the Civil War, and it's interesting to watch, and they're going back and forth. And, in the video that Ben Shapiro did on Nick Fuentes, he doesn't address anything said in the Tucker Carlson interview. Like, he doesn't address the Tucker Carlson interview with Nick Fuentes. He doesn't address nothing in that. He's just on these personal attacks against Nick. Whether you like Nick or not, I don't care. But if you're going to make a hit piece on somebody, address the things that they're saying head on and say something. You don't just say he hates women, put a clip, and then that's it. Oh, Tucker interviewed him and this isn't good. Okay, what in the interview did you not like? Was he wrong about saying that Jewish people hold a lot of power and influence in America and they're bullies? Is that not a clear assessment? Even if I just bring it to my side and how they bullied Kyrie Irving when he read a book that was like anti-Jew, or like how we have these celebrities at this Republican Jewish coalition or whatever it's called, this convention, this like thing that they have going on, where you saw Mayweather say he stands with the Jews, one of our top athletes, and then you saw Byron Donalds saying he stands with the Jews. Like, these people have a lot of influence, a lot of power. That is true. And if I bring it to my side, it like pains me to see that. Like, do black conservatives know that slavery is over? You got Byron Donalds and Money Mayweather saying they stand with Israel. Like, do you not understand that like you can have some like freedom and like agency for yourself? Like, you don't have to be a slave always. So you were a slave for the white man and now you're a slave for the Jew? What is it about Israel that you love so much as a black guy? What? When they bully Kyrie Irving and make him pay $500,000 and perform all these things to get back in their good graces because he read a book? What is it you love about Israel? That they're bombing the ish out of Palestinians? Like, what is it? What is it that you love so much about Israel? But you got Byron Donalds' big goofy ass on that stage saying, I stand with Israel. Like, the same guy that said black people were better, we were more conservative during Jim Crow. We were better during Jim Crow. It's like, dude, if you're okay with a white man having his foot on your neck, just say that. If you're okay with that, just say that and let that be you. There needs to be a civil war between black people in America. Everybody that wants to have no agency and let white people own everything, including the things that we make as far as like, art, hip hop, you on the left. Everyone that wants to worship Jesus, a white man, and just loves worshiping white people, want them to own everything we have, and wants absolutely no freedom from the white man, you on the left. Everybody that wants to have some freedom and wants black liberation and wants us to own more and make more and have families together, we're going to be on the right. And not saying Republican or Democrat. I just mean you're going to be on the left or you're going to be on the right. Because it's getting crazy out here when you got these big, goofy looking 6 foot tall black men saying they stand with Israel. Like, you were just a slave for the white man for 249 years. Now you're on stage, Mayweather and Byron Donalds saying that you stand with Israel. So now you're a slave for the white man with a small hat on his head, the Jewish man. It's very weird, it's nasty, and you should stop doing it because we can all see through you. And thank God you people don't have any real influence. Mayweather has no influence on the younger generation of black people, and Byron Donalds' goofy ass definitely has no influence. His Jim Crow loving ass definitely has no influence. So thank God, because these guys are slaves. It's like, do black conservatives know you don't have to be a slave? You don't have to worship a white Jesus. You don't have to stand with Israel. You don't have to bend the knee to white men. And you can own the things you create, and you can own a lot more things. That you don't always have to just bend the knee. I don't think they understand that. That's why I say a lot of times, let's bring back Negro leagues. I don't necessarily just mean Negro leagues. I mean, let's bring back ownership from top to bottom and have everything in our control and have that thought, that mindset of we don't need another group. So it's like, I don't understand them, man. I don't understand them. And it's like, if I go on TikTok and like, it's a video going, because, I usually go viral, and I say, hey, like, black, and that's the bad side of us black Americans. But if I go on the good side and I say, hey, we have the fight in us. Black Americans are the only people that fight against white supremacy. Black Americans are the only group that fight against white supremacy. Nobody else fights against white supremacy. Not Asians, not Indians, not natives, not Hispanics. No other group fights against white supremacy. We've been the only group that has on this soil. That's why everyone has civil rights, because we fought for it. That's why your immigrant ass, whether you're from India, Asia, whether you're Chinese, you can come here and do something because we fought for civil rights. We got you rights. White people didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, here's rights, everyone. Had to fight for that shit. So I know we have it in us. We had Negro leagues. We were controlling everything from top to bottom. We gave that up to join white people. I know we have it in us to own our thing and make great decisions and be successful. But if you have Byron Donalds and Money Mayweather saying they stand with Israel, or bending the knee to white people, or not calling out racism, then we're just not going to agree with that. We're not doing that. Especially the younger generation of black people, we're not doing that. We're not being a slave. We're not getting our ass whooped by either of these fucking minority groups, whether you're white or Jewish. So I'm just saying, there needs to be a revolution. But anyway, I think I had a little bit more to say about. I got off topic, but I had a lot more to say about that civil war that's going on the right. So anyway, you got the civil war going on the right. You got Ben Shapiro going at Nick Fuentes. You got Ben Shapiro going at Tucker Carlson. You got the right just going up and down with who they're with and who they're not. And I love to see it. I love to see it. We shouldn't be, helping Israel bomb Gaza. We shouldn't be trying to start a war with Iran for Israel. We shouldn't be doing these things. We shouldn't be not deporting anyone. At the end of this year, it's going to be less than a million deportations. It's going to be less than 600K deportations. That's not enough every year. If you're only deporting 500,000 people every year for 4 years, that's 2 million. That's not enough. If you're telling me Biden let in 14 million illegal immigrants and you're only able to deport 2 million, that's nothing. That's not even scratching the surface. It's just it's nasty. So you're either going to ignore this or you're not. And it's just interesting to watch. It's just interesting to watch the Civil War. I can't wait to see what happens because it's just interesting. I've been watching what everybody's saying. Ben Shapiro's super mad. And it's super funny to watch. He's just super mad. He's had it, And now he has to say something. It's just even, I don't know if you guys saw, but Brett Cooper is telling people, hey, you love Israel so much, go back. I'm like, oh, shit. She's like, no, she didn't say go back. She said, go live in Israel then. I'm like, oh, snap. And you got Brandon B. Tatum, because like we were talking about earlier, these older black guys who love being slaves to either white people or Jews. He's like, Brett, did you see what Nick Fuentes has said? You shouldn't be siding with him. Brandon's whole thing with Nick Fuentes, it's not that Brandon cares that Nick Fuentes is a anti-black guy or racist or something like that. his whole thing with Nick Fuentes is that like the Groypers were calling his wife a coal burner, and he does not like that, and he never has liked that because in his head, for years, black conservatives like Brandon B. Tatum and Candace Owens, they've been telling us racism doesn't exist and we complain too much. Now that they're receiving the racist remarks, so now you got Brandon B. Tatum's wife receiving DMs saying that she's a coal burner because she's married to Brandon B. Tatum. And you got Candace Owens constantly being talked about as far as her race goes, because after that interview with Nick Fuentes, all he's called her is nothing but a negress and a bitch. And being called low IQ because she's black. So you got these two conservatives, these black conservatives, who for years never called out racism, never even wanted to speak about racism, told us we were complaining too much, now talking about racism. And it's like, you don't get to talk about racism. You were defending it for years. That girl, Lily Gaddis, on Twitter, Brandon, you interviewed her. You had her on your YouTube channel that brings in millions of views. You don't get to talk about racism now because Nick Fuentes and the Groypers are calling your wife a coal burner, and you're mad about that because your little fantasy is broken of, oh, we complain too much and racism don't exist. So I'm seeing that. I'm just like, and he's telling Brett Cooper, he's like, hey, if you see, I promise you, she wouldn't have, defended Nick if she saw the videos he's posted. Bro, she's seen what Nick has said. She doesn't care. You got to live with that and be okay with that. You're always looking for a white ass to kiss. She's seen what he said. She does not give a fuck. What is wrong with you? Grow some balls. Grow some racial, confidence, my guy. My God, if you're not deleting videos of your wife telling us how much she don't like you, you're over here saying, oh, well, if you only know what he said, you wouldn't like him. No, she's seen. Brett Cooper is not stupid. She has a phone. She's seen what Nick has said. Doesn't give a fuck. You want everybody to be mad at Nick because he called your wife, because the Groypers called your wife a coal burner. Because you only care about when racism affects you. We've been calling out racism for years. Where were you, black conservative? Where were you, Candace Owens, Brandon B. Tatum? Now that you're receiving racism, now that the conservatives are just throwing you to the side and saying they don't give a damn about you, and Nick Fuentes is saying he's done with the black conservatives, he's done with that. Now you want to call it out? Now you want to be bothered? So we're watching all that, and you're just like, wow. I think that's all I have to say about that part, though. All I have to say about that part, we got a lot more to get into. Zora Mandani. Oh, should I talk about that first or the Kamala thing first? I'll talk about the Kamala thing first. So recently, Kamala and Gavin Newsom has basically hinted that they're going to run for office in 2028. They're going to run for the presidency. So Kamala will be doing it again, and Gavin, this will be his first time running. And we cannot forget that Kamala, whether she's black or not, which she's not, she's an Asian Indian, and she's very uncomfortable talking about her race. She's very uncomfortable when you bring up race, which is why Trump did, which is why Trump pushed her on that, because she's cosplaying. Anyway, let's say we put that to the side and we don't care about that. We're still not going to vote for you. You're going to lose again. No, you have nothing to say, and you are a blatantly controlled politician. We didn't know you when you were in office, when you were vice president, and we don't know you now. Every time you talk, we don't like what you have to say, and every time you talk, it's nothing hopeful. It's I can't do nothing only for black people. Okay, cool. We won't vote for you, bitch. It's just gaslighting. It's not talking to you directly. It's just you don't want this person to be your leader. And it's just yeah, I'm not even energized when you talk, because every time you open your mouth, we're reminded about how much we don't like you. We want honesty. You don't have to cosplay as a black woman for us to vote for you. We want honesty. But here she was cosplaying as a black woman, and now she's saying she might run for office again. It's okay, cool. You get ready to lose again then. Then you got Gavin Newsom. He hasn't really said what he's planning to do for black people, or if he's going to do anything for black people, or what he's going to do. But I mean, we'll see what happens, but it's not looking hopeful. I don't know if you guys know this, but California isn't, for the people that live there, all they do is complain. Which is why I always say, we shouldn't, we should end the voting for, we need mass resistance. Not voting for Democrats, not voting for Republicans, because it seems like things get worse every year. It seems like no matter who's in office, prices still go up, insurance still goes up, the economy still goes down, more illegal immigrants, no conversation about how things aren't going well for people, more conversation about giving illegal immigrants housing and food and subsidizing them. If you're American, you should be spoiled. Whether you're a black American, a Hispanic American, a white American, an Indian American, an Asian American, you should be getting spoiled. You should be getting all the fruits of America. But instead, they want to subsidize illegal immigrants, give them free housing, free food. And it's like, it's always that on the Democratic side. And honestly, the Republicans are not even deporting the illegals. Trump is only going to deport about close to 500K illegals this year. That's nothing. If Biden brought in 14 million, then you deporting 500,000 a year, that's nothing for your next 3 years. That's nothing. So that's why I always say mass resistance, and let's hold the vote until things get serious for either side. Is that going to happen anytime soon? I mean, a lot less people voted this election with Kamala and Trump. So, I mean, it looks like people are starting to to give up. Zoran Mandani, he won in New York. He's going to be the mayor in January. He won. Why did he win? Well, people are broke. Everyone's broke. People can't afford groceries. If he's saying we're going to have government grocery stores that are going to be a lot less cheaper than other grocery stores, people are going to say, damn, I want to vote for that. If he's saying, hey, when you get on the bus, you won't have to pay. It'll be free. Now you just save a couple of dollars every day, because people work every day, when you take the bus. People are going to vote for that. If he's saying, hey, when Netanyahu steps in New York, I'm going to put him in prison, people are going to be, damn, even Trump doesn't talk that way about Netanyahu. I'm going to vote for that. That's why he won. He's saying stuff like that. He's talking that big ish. Whether he does it or not, that's why he won. People can't afford anything, and he's talking about making things cheaper and giving you things for free, and here you go, and I'm going to use resources to give you resources. So that's why he won. And I love New York. I used to live in New York. I hope things work out for New York. We'll see what happens when he gets in office. But as far as he goes, that's my opinion on him. I have nothing else to say. Of course, I've seen what people have said about him as far as if they were for him or not for him, but we'll see what happens. I just want New York to be okay. It's one of our great cities. What else did we have to go on in the show? Please remember to follow me on TikTok, Facebook. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Put your notification bell on. Like the video. Share the video. Share the show. So we get more people watching. Have more conversation. Definitely do that. It's just a lot going on, and it's just annoying and annoying and annoying, and you just want optimism. You just want better things. You want affordability. You want cheaper things. You don't want Trump gaslighting. You don't want Trump gaslighting on the news, telling us the economy is okay and prices are going down, when you can clearly see prices are not going down and the economy is not okay, and inflation keeps going up, and groceries are still expensive, and gas is still expensive and going up and down in some states. You don't want Trump gaslighting you. Disney Plus just said, and this is a small one, I think, maybe a streaming service, But Disney Plus just said, hey, well, we're changing the price from $59 annually, and we're putting it up to $169 annually. They just said that. Let me get the right let me get the right numbers for you because I don't want to lie to you. The right numbers for you. So, you don't want Trump gaslighting you and telling you that things are getting better and that prices are going down and the economy is getting better when you can clearly see that inflation is going up and prices are going up and the economy is not getting better and groceries are still high and people can't afford rent, which is why Zoran would win if he's saying he's going to freeze their rent in New York, right? And then you got these if things are getting better, then why is everything getting so much more expensive? Disney just said, hey, we're going to, from now on, your annual price, it won't be $79. So $79 for the yearly subscription to Disney Plus. Now it's going to be $159. So from $79 to $159. So whoever has Disney Plus, your next bill is going to be that much. If things are getting better, then why is everything getting more expensive? Even down to your damn streaming service. But things are getting better. And that's why I say MAGA is dead, and like it's just dead. It's nothing. It's not real. MAGA is not real. It's dead. It was never a movement. He scammed white people, and he scammed everyone else too. You know, because mostly white people voted for Trump. You know, we're not getting a better economy. You're not getting better grocery prices. You're not getting the Epstein files. No one's getting locked up that has anything to do with that. You're just getting more inflation. You're getting more price jumps. You're getting more you're not getting more illegals, but you're not even deporting the illegals. If he's going to deport less than 500K a year every year for the next 3 years, that's nothing. If Biden brought in 14 million, you have that. It's sad. Terrible. So yeah. But you can make sure, at least you can make sure your own world is fine and like do your best to make more money, stay in good health, because around you is just like crashing. Did I have anything else to say for the show? I don't think I had anything else for the show. Did I have any other topics? Did I have any other topics? This is a fun one. I will say this. I don't know if y'all saw Erica Kirk hugging JD Vance on stage at Turning Point, and people are like, "Oh, is she going to leave? Is JD Vance going to leave his wife Usha and marry Erica Kirk?" Like, no, that's not going to happen. They just hugged on stage. Like, these are just distractions. These are just nothing. None of that matters. No, JD Vance is not marrying Erica Kirk. No, he's not leaving Usha. No. Will him having a brown wife be a problem because he's on the right and a Republican conservative white man? Yeah, it'll be a problem in 2028. They're already doing it on Twitter. Yeah, it'll be a problem because his wife is a reminder that Indians are here and white people don't like that. But is he going to marry Erica Kirk? No, that's not happening. By the way, I don't know if you guys know this. All the conspiracy theories and everything about Charlie's death, we still don't have an autopsy of Charlie Kirk. Does anybody care about that? We still do not have an autopsy of Charlie Kirk. That's an important thing. Not phones being at the death. Not 12 Israeli phones or some guy or any conspiracy that Candace Owens is giving. By the way, she literally had a CIA cup, CIA like tag on her cup when she's doing her show. Like, is she an operative? Is she blatantly telling us that there's something going on there? Anyway, we still don't have the autopsy. if you care about Charlie Kirk, isn't that important? Isn't Charlie Kirk's autopsy important if you care about him instead of just conspiracy theories? I'll say this: I don't know who killed Charlie Kirk. What I can say is that his death is being used for attention, maybe influence on some legislation, bringing in some like Pan Bondi saying, "Oh, we're going to attack free speech," and like whoever got rid of him thought he was more valuable dead than he would be alive for the future. That's what I'll say about the Charlie Kirk death. I don't know who killed him. I don't know if it was the guy they're saying that killed him. I'm not. Who knows? I don't know. But I do know that whoever got rid of Charlie Kirk thought he was more valuable dead than alive. And as you can see, when Pan Bondi said a month ago that we're going to attack hate speech because a lot of people were making jokes about Charlie's death. You know, people were saying, oh, they're mocking Charlie Kirk's death. They're wearing t-shirts with blood on it. When Trayvon Martin got pewed, there were white people on the ground with Skittles and in Arizona mocking Trayvon Martin. This is not a new thing because it happened to Charlie Kirk. People are always going to mock. They're making it seem like, oh, they're mocking Charlie Kirk and we got to go after the haters. No. They've always mocked people who've died. White people were mocking Trayvon with the Skittles and the Arizona when they would lay on the floor. And people are mocking Charlie Kirk and making jokes out of it. Nobody has to like Charlie Kirk's ugly ass. Nobody has to like Charlie Kirk's lying ass. Nobody has to like him. Anyway, so that's all I have to say about that. You know, all these distractions, all Candace Owens is doing on her show about Charlie Kirk's death, all these conspiracies, we still have no autopsy. Let's talk about that. All your conspiracies. They're saying, you have the speaker for Turning Point, or this, I think that's the guy. You know, Charlie Kirk was made of steel. The bullet didn't go through, so we don't have the bullet. Is that not suspicious to anybody that we don't have the bullet that got into Charlie Kirk's neck? We don't have an autopsy of Charlie Kirk. Is anybody finding that suspicious? If you care about Charlie. Anyway. I don't think I had anything else for the show. This has been 30 minutes. I mean, if you made it this far, make sure you leave a like and a share. You know? If you made it this far, make sure you leave a like and share. I do want to say this about hip-hop. You know, because people are saying, is hip-hop in a decline? You know, last week we saw the Billboard. The top 40 had no hip-hop songs. It was just other things. The top 40, for the first time in forever, the top 40 on Billboard charts had no hip-hop, no rap on it. The top 40 singles, top 40 songs on the Billboard. And people are like, oh, is it in decline? Well, I'll say this. And this goes back to what I was saying about Negro Leagues. Hip-hop is always going to be in a decline state if we don't start owning it again. Or owning it at all. I don't even know if we ever owned it. But if hip-hop is not in black people's hands, then it's going to have a decline, and you're going to see that as we are seeing now. Because the people that are controlling it, they don't care about the art. They care about money. Those white people care about money. Those Jews care about money. Those small hats guys, they care about money. They don't care about the art. So hip-hop is always going to be in decline unless we take it and put it in our hands, which means you would have to stop signing over your rights and your catalogs and your companies to them. Yes. Is hip-hop in a decline? Yes. Why is that? Well, the people that own it are not black. They don't care about our culture. They damn sure don't care about our art. They care about profit. Money. So if you only care about profit and money, you're not going to care about how to make this thing go and keep it pushing as far as creativity goes, which results in less profit because it's going to be boring like it is now, and just a decline in the art, a decline in how good it does on charts. That's why you just had the top 40 on Billboard charts had no hip-hop songs. You just had that happen. That's never happened before, but it just happened. So yes, is hip-hop in decline? Yes, and it's going to continue that way unless we start back owning our stuff. We can own it and we can make it great. It just has to be owned by us. Just like how we had Negro leagues and we were doing great until before we joined white people. And now the owners of the NBA and NFL, they're all white or Jewish, and we don't know nothing. So that's all I have to say about the hip hop thing. And I know black people can do it because we can. We have it in us. Anyway, I'm Prince Dearlove, live from Planet Earth. You are watching Chixxflix. Please share the video, like the video. I hope to see you again. And make sure you follow me, man. I'm doing my thing.